Hello everyone, Oh My Giona here, and today I'm gonna be talking about Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha episodes 3 and 4. I wasn't able to film anything last week because I was camping. I used up all my data just to watch episodes 3 and 4. But I couldn't film anything because I was camping. So this is like a late upload. I'm so sorry. But I didn't want to skip on the review. So here goes. So before I've talked about how I like the snippets we get of the village. And for episode 3, in the beginning, we had this like 공진의 소리, which is 공진's sound. And we were shown like the bell chiming and the police car. We had like the ultrasound, just the usual things that we hear in the village, and it's just so soothing. It really reminded me of the In the Heights movie where Nina, played by Leslie Grace, my girl Leslie Grace, there she always says, just stop for a second and let me listen to my block. And yeah, that just stuck to me. And I've always thought of sounds as it's a part of your memory. You know, you feel nostalgic when you hear a song, not because it's good, but you associate them to the memories you've had of that time. Like for me, when I was in college and I was walking to my class and I would always listen. That was like back in 2009, and so I would listen to Sorry Sorry and Big Bang's Haru Haru. And so whenever I hear them, it brings me back. So I feel like this was nicely placed. It sets the mood for what's to come. The main story for episode 3 was Gamli Halmoni, and how she, like, her teeth were in pain, but she didn't want to get implants because they're expensive. And it's just something that we always see. That's just how parents are, I guess, especially in dramas. They tend to be very selfless, and they would do everything for their kids, but would not really care for themselves. And this is exactly what's going on with Gamli Halmoni. It reminded me of that poem that was shown in You Forgot Poetry. Forgot what episode. So the poem is called 엄마는 그래도 되는 줄 알았습니다. I think I got it right. 엄마는 그래도 되는 줄 알았습니다 by Shim Soon-deok. And it's a poem that talks about how, oh, mom always like works so hard without rest. Mom always gives me stuff, even the food that she was about to eat, she was gonna give it to me. And I've always thought it was a given to do that. But then it wasn't. Like, she was doing it because she loves you, kind of thing. Oh my gosh. Like that poem really makes me emotional. I will put a link to that poem in the description box if you would like to check that out. It was really nice how they, instead of Doo-shik saving the day, it was actually Hyejin who made Halmoni realize that she needs to take care of herself, because Doo-shik tried, okay? He tried everything. He went to grandma and was like, I will pay for your teeth. Like, don't mind it. I can give you the money for it. But grandma didn't want it. And then Doo-shik tried to call her son, and the son was no help at all. But yeah, it was actually Hyejin being sincere to herself and to Halmoni that changed her mind. It was really nice. Like, the thing is, with Hyejin, sometimes she can be so mean, or like you would look at her and you would think like, why can't she just do this, or why does she have to make it so complicated? But then the more we see of her, like how she misses her mom, and it seems like she was really upset that her mom passed away when she was younger. Like she had this line where she told Doo-shik that what parents have to do is to take care of themselves and to live longer. And like that really hurt, because we know how much she misses her mom, but Doo-shik was just seeing it from his perspective because he cares for grandma, not seeing where Hyejin was coming from. And that was kind of like a hit to me as a viewer, because I was doing the same, even though I knew that Hyejin had this past to her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But yeah, episode 3 was centered on that. And for Hyejin and Doo-shik, it was kind of like knowing each other, seeing the differences, understanding where each person is coming from. There was this scene of them coming from Seoul, going back to Gongjin, and Hyejin was just saying, oh, I miss like the buildings. I wanted to have wine at Hangang. And then Doo-shik is like, oh, I can't wait to go back to Gongjin. It's so stuffy in here. Like, they're total opposites, but like it was just funny, because then later on they kind of like adjust to each other and meet halfway, and that was really nice to see. And then the shoes, oh my goodness, at the beginning of the episode when they showed her shoe, like it was missing the pair because that was all she got, like the first episode. And then I was thinking, oh, you know what? Probably at the end, towards the end of the drama, like maybe like episode 14 or something, Doo-shik would find the shoe and then give it back to Hyejin, and it would be a pair again, like a symbolism of the two of them being together. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna see the shoe again. And oh my gosh, like at the end of the episode, smooth Doo-shik brought the shoe to her, and just the way they did it, it was so beautiful. Kind of cliche with her like losing power at her house and Doo-shik coming to like try to fix it and all that. But then like it was just that moment when she put the shoes on and she put her foot down, and then the lights came back on, and that was just so cute. And it was like one by one turning on, like the lights were turning on one by one, and that was just perfect. And the look on Hyejin's face, she was so happy. And then Doo-shik like cycling out of the frame, smiling. That was just so beautiful. And you can see like how their relationship is growing, you know. But there's still so many questions. We don't know a lot of what happened to Doo-shik or what happened to Hyejin. So, which we will see in like the next episodes. Then in episode 4, the main part of that episode was the pervert going to a dentist and like touching Mison, and that was just really, really awful, because we know things like that happen. And it's crazy, like that bastard, like when he came in, he was like looking around for cameras, making sure he won't what do you call this, there would be no evidence if he does something. And I'm like, what a bastard. Like, you went in there, like, this is totally premeditated, like, no accident at all. He was planning on, like, sexually harassing people. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, it was so amazing how Hyejin went in there, saw it, and she was just like at it. Okay, like this dude is out. And she did everything to protect Mison. I bet she was like very scared. I mean, I would too, right? There were only the two of them there, and then there's this crazy guy. Like, what do you do? But Hyejin kicked him in the face and even slapped him when he came towards her. And I'm like, yo, Hyejin, Hyejin. That was so good. And then we have Doo-shik, like, wearing his scuba diving suit. No, not scuba diving. His surfing suit, was just running there and the knee to the face. And it was just so cool. And oh my gosh, like, you won't believe how many times I've rewatched that scene. Just that clip of Doo-shik coming in, kicking the guy, and then going like this, like touching Hyejin's face. Like, oh my gosh, like, why so naturally just touching her? Like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, that was so much fun. And then that led us to the most amazing scene ever with Mison and Hyejin in the in prison. They were Hyejin and Doo-shik were being held there because they assaulted the guy, right? And Doo-shik was just friendly with the police, and he was able to get out of the cell and just drink coffee. But Hyejin didn't want to move. She said she won't get out of the cell unless the pervert gets arrested. And then Mison comes in, and it was just so cute, because if the background music wasn't that playful, it would be really sad. I actually teared up just watching them, even though I was laughing, because you can see the friendship between them. We know that Hyejin doesn't really have friends. She only has Mison, and Mison really stuck with her, you know, like, she even moved there and helped Hyejin out. And then for this time, Hyejin was the one helping her out, making sure to protect her. It was just beautiful. And the reason why Mison didn't say anything, even though the guy had been harassing her for like a few times already, because she didn't want Hyejin's business to go down. It's crazy, like, why that would happen, but it would. So she kept it to herself, and Hyejin was like, no, like, I got your back and all that, and they were just crying and hugging each other, like, between the cell bars. And Doo-shik and Eunchul were like, the door is open, but okay. That was so cute. It was like, I was laughing, but I was crying, and it was beautiful. I'm so glad that Hyejin at least has Mison with her, and that Mison has Hyejin. And speaking of Mison, oh my goodness, I really love Hyejin and Doo-shik. I'm like just going crazy for Kim Son-ho at this point. But Mison and Eunchul, they're just so cute. Like, it's just so sweet and innocent, and I love it. And how Mison is just so straightforward, and you have Eunchul being like the shy type. I love it. Like, when Eunchul gave Mison his Yongam business card, and says, next time if something happens, you can call this number, and that's just so sweet. I love Eunchul. Also, oh my gosh, this is like totally out of topic, but I was looking up the relationship chart for Cha-cha-cha, and I just realized that Eunchul, the police officer, and Gumchul, like the guy who runs the hardware store, they're brothers. And I'm so mad that it didn't occur to me. Because, like, now that I look at them, they do look alike. And, like, their names are Gumchul, Che Gumchul, and Che Eunchul. Which is, Gum is gold, and Un is silver. So, Gumchul, Eunchul. I'm just wondering if they have another brother named Dongchul, which is bronze. But I'm like, did you guys notice that? Because I'm like, they never mentioned it, right? But yeah, I was looking that up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're brothers. That was just a cute thing. And then in this episode, the rivalry between Chohee, Youngkook, and Hwajong. It's just like the love triangle. It's crazy. It's in full force. And I don't know, I really feel bad for Hwajong just because I think she still has feelings for Youngkook. Youngkook is really trying so hard to get together with Chohee. I don't know what Chohee wants. She's been pretty silent and just nice to both of them. So I don't know, does she want to date Youngkook, or like I have no idea. Oh, we also got introduced to Ji Sung-hyun. I can't remember exactly if it was episode 3 or 4, but Sang-hee, I was waiting for him to come out, and I mean it's already episode 4 and he was still not there. But it was mentioned that he is a PD. He's a director for variety shows, and he's Haejin Sonbae. So he was a dentist, but he became a director instead. And they mentioned this Lee Kang-wook, who's friends with Sung-hyun. So we still don't know what's going on there, but I'm just so happy because that's exactly what Doo-shik needs. Because right now it's just Doo-shik and Haejin, so it's kind of like Doo-shik always teases her, and I want to see Doo-shik be jealous for once. And Sung-hyun is I think gonna be the guy for that. He came out with June, like the idol, and it seems like they're gonna do a show in Gongjin where June is like the main cast. And that would be really nice to see because June is the idol who Judy really likes. And also, oh my goodness, Judy, I've been thinking like where I saw her. Like she looks so familiar. And then I was on YouTube just watching random videos, and I saw her in like the ODG channel, and I'm like, oh, that's her. Oh, so she transitioned into acting now. And I'm like, I can't believe I forgot that. But oh, I'm so happy for her. I really like her in ODG. Okay, and like episode 4 ended with like, oh my gosh, the craziest thing ever. Haejin and Doo-shik drinking together, and they were talking deep stories, and Haejin admitted that she does miss her mom, and she went to Gongjin because it was her mom's birthday that day, and she was getting really emotional, and her face was turning red, and she was like, oh my goodness, it's so hot. And then Doo-shik was like he was holding the ice container, and then so his hands would be cold, and then he went like this to Haejin, but like, oh my gosh, you know how like the music stopped, it was just silence, and Doo-shik was like holding her like this, and I'm like, oh my god. Like I stopped breathing right there, and I'm like, when is this gonna end? But oh my gosh, that was so good. And how like the ice melted and went like shoo at the end there, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I was so excited for the next episode. I'm just going crazy. I'm like in the trailer and was just I need the next episode. But yeah, that was episode 4. So these 2 episodes still nice. This drama is still like the feel-good kind of drama. It's very easy to watch, but it's not like I'm not focusing, because you know you have like those dramas you just have on like the background, you're just kind of listening to it but not really focusing. This drama makes me feel happy and giddy, but it still makes you think, you know, like when the episode ends you still think about the drama. So this drama is like that. The thing that really keeps me up at night, just kidding, keeps me thinking was Doo-shik, like, okay, what do we know about Doo-shik? He seems like he knows how to do everything. Okay, so he must be smart, right? And there was a time when he left Gongjin. He was born there, but he left Gongjin. Like, where did he go? Like, when did he come back? Why did he come back? There are these questions. And also when they went to Seoul, he said he had an appointment. We saw him going into like this building, and they have different kinds of clinics. There was like a urology clinic, psychiatric clinic. What else was there? There was a dentist. I think he went to the psychiatric clinic, and he was also having nightmares. There was that one scene when he was sleeping, and then he woke up in the middle of the night just sweating, and he couldn't get back to sleep. So there's something. He was having nightmares. He was going to the psychiatrist. But why? Like, we don't know why. Like, what happened to Doo-shik? And I really want to know. Like, I mentioned in the episode 3 review, like on my blog, that my friend sent me a screenshot of these picture frames in Doo-shik's place. And there was this girl with him in the pictures. And they look like wedding pictures or like prenup pictures. And so I'm leaning towards Doo-shik being married before or was about to get married, but something happened to the girl. Wait. Yeah, but something happened to the girl. Like, she probably died or something. And it must be connected to his boat. You know, the boat that he has on top of the hill? Because he's been fixing that. He was spending lots of money to fix it. So the boat is very special to him. And I think it's connected to that girl. There was also this moment when the people were trying to figure out why Jungkook and Hwajong divorced because they didn't know. And the restaurant lady was saying how could people just get divorced like that? Like, you must have to be very cold-hearted to do it. And then Hyejin says, like, no, it's just a choice that you make, just like how you choose to get married. And then Doo-shik actually agrees and says, like, yeah, I agree to that. It's just a choice. And I'm like, was he married and then divorced? But then why did the girl die? Like, I don't know what's going on. But it seems like he has this wall up and he's not yet ready to enter a relationship again. Although he seems like he's really interested in Hyejin, right? So, I have no idea like where it's going. Like, oh my gosh, but I'm just so excited. Songhyun is gonna be in the picture now, and yes, I can't wait for the rivalry to start. But yeah, Hyejin is still on her journey to get close to the people, but I think she's doing a really good job now. She just has to try a little bit harder. And yeah, because I mean, the people in this village are super awesome. Like, I love all of them. They're just so nice. But yeah, that's all for my ramblings for episodes 3 and 4 of Hometown Cha Cha Cha. I actually had a review up for episode 3 on my blog. You can check that out. I talk about the drama in more details there. And then I subtitled a couple of Kim Son-ho videos that's related to Cha Cha Cha. But if you could check that out, that would be awesome. Just my way of practicing my Korean. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend and have an awesome day. Bye bye.